get heaps of charges thanks to the dagger spam. Sure, you can level up evasion and dodge a few hits, but the impetus is still going to hurt a lot. And the thing is, I don't believe you can disjaunt it by blink striking away. So you blink strike away, does even more damage. You get my drift. It's not very fun.
Yeah, it's really not. I'm keen to see what Leonidas can get done in that lane. It's just going to be... It's going to be an interesting one to watch out for. I think whether or not the PA can get that Battle Fury timing is a big one. Like, you're just really reliant on that. You do have supports that can make plays now. You do have an off lane that, while it can still get completely run down by Stonebank, it should be able to also just sit back, use Firestorm from a safe distance, and farm. And I do want to see Ducho err on the side of caution, you know, because last game he was a very, very big target for bait. I mean, they seem to have an understanding as to what happens when you pick off Ducho.
Yeah, Yambura trying to go for something here. He only got 2 decay stacks out of this decay, and that's not going to be anywhere near enough to survive through the onslaught. So Yambura is gone. First blood this game around to go towards the bait. And in terms of bounties, at least it was a pretty big advantage the way of bait. I believe they got a 3-for-1, but nevertheless, you'd much rather the first blood be secured on Dendi, if anything.
Oh, stalking.
9?
Stalking, 9.
I mean, yeah, he's going to skill up the lead. He doesn't want to die like this. But that's a pretty poor kind of... Oh, no, Yambura. Another blood grenade. Enchant is there from Funnick. Stominan's going to cut him off. He can go for a decay very, very soon. I don't know if it's going to be quite enough health to survive, but it looks like he's okay. He'll make it out. Problem is he has barely any HP to play with, and Lodine's going to just try and ensure he remains at a very low HP pool.
Yeah, I like this early aggression coming out from bait, running the tri-lane up top early on just to look for these kills. They don't really overcommit. Lodine will head back down bot, and you know, like it's just rough to start off this way. Like the Undying, because of the lack of mangoes now, you don't get to start with 6 mangoes. You kind of get the blood grenade and the orb venom, which is nice and trying to chase, but you can't even spot out the bounty hunter. So it's just really awkward to trade. We'll see how it develops down the line. Mid lane, of course, Dendi on the Wind Ranger up against Lund on the Storm. This, I would say, is actually a little bit easier for the Wind Ranger overall. Like, you can stand back further away with a power shot to harass. You can dodge out when the Storm's trying to play with Overload with your Wind Run. You can be pretty aggressive here. So I actually do feel like Dendi should be able to control this lane a lot better. And honestly, I expect a lot more Wind Rangers in every lane. Wouldn't be surprised if this really is the start of this hero coming back.
Assuming, you know, Universal Heroes don't get nerfed to the ground in the next sub-patch, whenever the hell that's going to be. But, yeah, I do agree. Like, this Wind Ranger hero feels like he could play any role right now and still be extremely potent. Let's see. It's one of the only heroes as well that still has like a really long stun, right? Like max level Shackle's 3.1 seconds, which obviously isn't as good as it used to be, but when you consider the fact that Power Shot at max level does 470 magic damage on top, like its numbers are too much, I think, for the Wind Ranger. Like it has too many good stats.
Are you saying Wind Ranger's a good hero?
I am.
So, was Power Shot damage? Yeah, it was actually increased. Yeah, they kind of over-touched on that. I think they could have left that alone. Still, see how much Dendi can get out. Already a good start. 17-4 compared to the 13-2 on Lund. That is, I'm not going to lie, for a Storm, that's pretty abysmal. But to be expected. This matchup just, it doesn't get any easier as well as the levels go up.
No, just the harassment potential is ridiculous as top lane. Tombstone's going to be dropped. Funnick will be chased down, but Stominan is there to kind of take the distraction away and maybe sack his own life as he does go down. Did have a Fairy Fire, but chooses not to eat it. Meanwhile, Ducho, bottom lane, does end up dying, so Lodine and Stonebank able to secure a kill onto the Underlord. Much better kill here for the side of Bait, and sadly, we're off to a very similar start to what happened in game 1 here for poor old Ducho.
Yeah, it's again Monkey King in the pool. You leave Underlord, you pick it up, and then you get Monkey King. Not the comfiest feeling in the world for Dutro. Very unfortunate. They also emphasize early Sacred Arrow over Starstorm to kind of just clear out the wave, maybe get some harassment onto the Monkey. So offensive potential, it's really on maybe a combination with Pit of Malice, but you also don't level that as the Underlord early on. So just not going to find that angle. Yanbura.
In trouble again. Already committed all his decays. Does have at least a healing Lotus, but won't even bother trying to use it. Leonidas now in a bit of an awkward situation because he tried to help out. The thing is, Funnick, like, he's just racking up those stick charges again. He just doesn't care. The more you throw at him, the happier he is.
Yeah. It's just off to a really smooth start here on the edge off lane. Not too far behind in comparison to the CS coming out from Leonidas. He's got a nice Centaur creep now as well with a War Stomp. They're always threatening. I mean, Undying PA, it's a lane that can work, but this is just not a lane that feels good for PA. It's not a lane that feels like the Undying can just overwhelm and try to play with some softening up with decays. You're just not seeing any of that come out here at all.
It's so hard now as well, John, because the level 2 enchant, in fact, hold that thought, because Funnick is forced to TP away. Very quick thinking from Funnick to be able to get out of that scenario, but it's so hard because with the level 2 enchant, you're giving plus 30 damage to the creep you steal. Like, Yambura can't deal with it. Yambura actually has to run. Because if he gets stunned, he is likely to just die. Leonidas might eventually find the creep, and he does. But you catch my drift. Like, Funnick can get another creep, give it another plus 30 damage. At level 5, he'll have a plus 50 damage. And it's just, as this PA, how do you fight back?
You don't. You just sit back, you try to play with your dagger, you have to surrender out these stick charges to Funnick, which makes him feel happier in that lane as well. Kind of just hold it from there. I think your timing issue still stands for SKG, where you've had a really rough start on Lund. He hasn't died, but he's not really snowballing the way you'd want him to. Lots of pressure coming out from Dendi alone. And then he does opt for one bracer up, going for the Power Treads next. 85 damage. Gonna be even higher once Power Treads are fully up.
Stonebank is gonna get punished. Big pick off here, John. SKG using Lund to rotate on the Storm, and they do pick off the POS 1 of Bait. Problem is now their mid-tier 1 tower is under siege.
It's a really early siege coming out from Bait, which you can get done with a Wind Ranger. But I don't know if this is really the biggest deal. Although, the kill could be big.
Oh, Blastoff's not going to make it in time. That Shackle didn't really latch onto anything, did it? Or maybe it did, it's just such a short duration. 1.6 seconds at level 1. Anyway, yeah. Lund is fine.
He is doing his job well. I mean, again, considering the lane, he's not that far behind in terms of the CS, so I'm more than happy. I'm just wondering if SKG can afford to have like all of these heroes farming up again, as Funnick does find a freebie on Yanbura while he was trying to steal the rune. They did find 2 wisdom runes for their trouble, but they're taking massive losses across the map for that.
That they are. Dutra going down again on the Underlord. It did take a 3-man rotation here from Bait, but well worth it. Yambura obviously dying on the Undying as well. Solo to Funnick, but that was to be expected. At least it is buying a little bit of space here for the PA, because Leonidas was having a pretty rough start. Now he has his cornucopia on the way, as they like to call it these days. And so he should be able to just maintain himself in the laning stage now. So far, not too bad of a start for SKG whatsoever. It's mid lane, Lund, Copper Focus Fire, but is going to be able to back off. It's kind of the issue is you just don't have stuns long enough right now to actually get enough damage out onto Lund.
That's it. The lockdown is the issue. If you can maybe chain stun, say get Shackles into the blast off, or at least start with Stominin.
You got very low. In comes Leonidas. Crits are coming out. Stonebank should go down here surely. Blast off is going to be very nice though. Low died. Oh, he couldn't save the day. It's a nice setup, but there was no turnaround. They are still trying, but in comes the Undying with the Tombstone to ensure they can't keep up. This team fight as Dendi, he'll take care of the Tombstone, but nobody's really left over to try and take down. He's gonna have to leave them be.
Yeah, it's a good read out from Sand King Gómez, using these moments where Stonebank's alone for a lot longer to their advantage, getting that jump in, getting some aggression, pressure on the monkey. You're still in a pretty comfy spot for Stonebank and overall for Bait, but again, there's more fight here in SKG. They've got more activity coming out with this lineup. They are getting things done on the map. Just isn't translating into too much just yet. Stoneman under a sentry.
Yeah, gonna try and get some vision of Baron Yambura. Nice shackle from Dendi, but it won't matter. It's a level 1 shackle. Not a long enough duration, though. I say that. Lund is going a little bit too far, I think, because Lodine's made the jump in with the blast off, and now Lund. He is gonna drop, but at least he takes Lodine with him. It's still a double kill.
It's a double kill, but the double kill comes out first, and then the streak ends as well onto Dendi. So I feel like you still kind of gain back what you lost there on Bait, and you consolidate all those resources onto this Wind Ranger, who is very, very close to just finishing off that Atos. Lots of stats on hand for Dendi to play with. Mid still under constant pressure. DD up on Stamina now as well. Would have been really happy if you picked it up on Dendi, but forced to pick it up. With the tower gone, I mean, again, mid not the biggest objective anymore, but this does allow you to invade the inner jungle really well. And you still need that inner jungle stacked. I mean, you want this PA to use that Battle Fury well, but you might not have the room to keep these stacks up.
9. Being stalked. Gonna get hit. Blood grenade is there. That should be enough. No, the stick charges. I'll keep 9 alive, just barely. It's the bottom tier 1 tower now, being focused down by SKG. To go for a quick zip in. They found Lodine. Lodine does get the disarm off, looking for a blast off away. And, well, Lund is chasing pretty deep, but is going to be able to secure.
They takes quite some forward movement. I think for the side of Bait, at the least it's not Stonebank getting under pressure anymore. They did rotate up top with Dendi, and they're trying to take that top tier 1, which is set to fall. Let's fall down anyway. No deny coming out there from SKG. So now a lot more can happen. They can start sneaking into that top jungle area. They secure themselves a better time on their own Tormentor protection, on their own Wisdom Rune now as well for Bait. Not as sneaky around here for the side of SKG unless they play with a Fiend's Gate down the line. And overall, again, 6-8, a stronger look from SKG, but it does feel like Bait's still finding more off the map. I think you're more than satisfied with this kind of farm build-up. Funnick is free farming. Like, I am very curious as to see what Funnick actually does want to build, because right now it's just Wraith Bands.
I mean, things are good so far. Like, Lund's been having an extremely good game on the Storm, 5-1-0. Kind of start you want to see as the Storm Spirit is they are going to run right into Stominen. Arrow's actually going to land, but they didn't know he was there. Now the blast off, surely coming in, but Lund's too late. In fact, it wasn't Lund that was too late, but Lodine went for the sticky bomb first rather than the blast off, and that I'm not sure if it would have really cost them the kill. It looks like Lund was going to be just fine anyway, but they didn't really find much out of that situation.
Yeah, they miss out on a pretty big kill. But again, I feel like it's not costing you too much here on Bait, because you're still getting that space for Stonebank, you're still getting that space out for Funnick. So even if you're not finding kills, you're forcing all this clumped up movement from SKG. They're not being able to be as efficient on the map. Funnick starts to spot a few though.
Yeah, Bora's actually gonna die. Funnick. It's kind of the thing for Funnick right now, is like, he can be the carry for this game. Like, if Stonebank's not getting it done, he can do it himself. Is they're gonna find Leonidas. Or Abatos barely gonna make it in time. Blur was there by Leonidas. He'll be able to blink strike away as well. But you kind of see the issue with blink striking away from an Ench is just the impetus damage is just so high. But he will survive.
Yeah, he
Lund?
stays alive. Oh.
Stomina was looking for a shadow walk stun, does find it, and now they'll blow up Lund. So this time around they've got him. 9 jumping in to secure a Techie's kill, but it's going to cost his own life. Funnick is hitting way too hard.
He really is. I mean, again, he's been given a lot of free space on this Ench. Dragonlance up into the Hurricane Pike next. They're keeping an eye on these stacks as well, which Leonidas needs to clear. He does have the Battle Fury up. He could try, but again, no access points presenting themselves here for the side of SKG. 3K lead coming out for Bait very early on. Not as dominant as the last game, but again, it's a sign. It's signs of life from SKG, but they've got to be able to do a little bit more, especially when Bait does decide to start moving around here. Like Maelstrom's going to be the next timing for Dendi into the full Gleipnir, more AoE control coming out there, way more damage coming out there as well. Stoneman just keeping an eye.
Will reveal himself in the end here. He'll still get some nice XP out of this, just hanging around. In fact, now Dendi's going to show up. They'll find Yambura first. Arrow's going to fly through, will not connect, and Dendi will just happily chase down Yambura. Just with the Rod of Atos and the Bracer, he's got 150 plus damage. So you can just chase people down for free like this. There's just nothing they can do about it. On to another. 9 gets caught, but he'll be able to leave. That was his last sleep charge, though, and that means they're going to jump in. Funnick secures his 6th kill of the game.
Yeah. They're just, again, just trying to stop SKG from getting anything. Granted, this is space. Ducho is not dying. A very big difference from game 1. The Underlord is allowed to farm, going onto his own Atos now after finishing that Crimson Guard. They tipped Stoneman. What did he do?
Don't know, Jonathan, but he's looking after Lund now. Maybe Stoneman is just doing such a great job that they're just happy about it. Like, they're just like, yeah, tip the guy, you know? He's doing good. And he's doing really good because he's found Lund again. Waiting for Dendi to catch up before he goes for the stun. Tracks first, zip away, Rod of Atos, not gonna land. Got a little bit greedy going for the track first instead of just popping the Shadow Walk. Getting that 1.2 second stun. Maybe that would have made the difference.
I think it would have. You would have had the follow up there from Dendi, but could have, would have, should have. Still a 5k lead standing for Bait. As SKG, I mean, they have some aggression out. They are still farm heavy. Leonidas still needs more, although.
They're going to find Ducho here on the Underlord. Poor old Ducho. His team is around, looking to try and help, and he is a tanky boy. He's actually going to survive for now with the Crimson Guard, as Lund's going to make the jump in. Keep in mind, the Tombstone damage is going to start racking up, but it's gone. As Funnick, again, is proving to be the real carry this game. He is dealing way too much damage. On to another. They'll find the Storm Spirit. Lund's out of mana. At least an arrow does land on Dendi to slow things down. But it doesn't really matter. So they're going to find 9 as well. Only survivor is Leonidas, who's still farming the jungle.
Yeah. And that's all he can do. He can't really come in to contribute anytime soon. Once the BKB is up, perhaps, that's when the PA can start to have some of that impact. But, I mean, you're going to be dealing with a Monkey King with a heck of a lot of damage. Very hard to burst him down once the Wukongs is up there as well. He's got his Maelstrom up and running. No early BKB does mean he's susceptible to control, but you probably just don't mind at all on the Monkey King. There's no control to really be scared of. Full Hurricane Pike up and running now as well for Funnick. So our Enchantress is just going to be able to do this.
Look at this. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, he got him! Oh, he got him!
Funnick! What is this?
Oh.
What is this?
How did he get the last one in?
Power shot vision, maybe?
Yeah, but that was a bloody long range. I mean, I play a lot of Ench, John. I'm not sure if she can attack that long range. Jesus.
Well, Hurricane Pike, you know.
Yambura.
Just make them.
I may have miscounted, Jonathan. Might be my fault. Leonidas? Ench play, by the way.
Counting is difficult, Mike, especially when
It is.
I don't know when you've got a lot on your mind. You know, it happens. I'm sure you're also in your mind. You're also just trying to think, how do I teach my child how to count? And you just forgot. You know, good. You make that mistake now, Mike.
It certainly is. Here we go again. More impetus to come in. Bye-bye, Ducho. Nice knowing you, sir. Lund, I'm not sure this is the time to force a fight, but he's going to try. Stominant is looking okay for now as he's just tanking through it. Lund's out of mana. All of this for a bounty hunter as they're going to even find the 9 Mirana. No impetus necessary. Funnick's out of mana. He just doesn't need it. Yambura, do you really want to just stay around? I think the answer was no. He dies as well. You die with the team.
Yeah, die with your team, play with your team, live with your team. SKG are just falling down, at the least mostly together here. As Bait are playing very well together, finding these kills as a team, coordinating really well. I mean, they've got a 21-10 13k lead at 19.5 minutes in. I don't even remember what Dota Plus was saying last time, but it's saying a 75% chance to win for Bait at this point, which is fair. I think you are giving a lot of leeway out to SKG to catch up here on Leonidas, have some of that impact we're looking for from Lund and Dutro. But Bait have been in control. They've been in the driver's seat this entire time. And now they'll just be able to clear out the Tormentor. Not like that.
Oh, whoopsie daisies.
Low dime.
Whoopsie daisies.
Fun. Okay, so there's a couple of things you can do on Tormentor. We have the Techies and the Enchantress who both can solo it.
Yeah.
They both come in there. And to be fair, I don't think if you're the Techies trying to solo the Tormentor, you're not supposed to be in the area when the bombs go off.
No, that's true. You're not. Oh, well. You know, you live and you learn. You know, Lodine's learned something new today. Happy days for him. You know, he'll get there, John. Don't you worry.
Yeah, don't stay near Funnick when he goes in that area. That's what you learn.
No. Well, Funnick doesn't give a crap, John. Funnick's like, hey, I'm getting the chance. Who cares? My teammates die, not my fault.
Pretty much. It's he's doing his job. He's getting that objective. You're just in the way.
Right. 14k advantage now. Saving grace being Leonidas is still farming pretty effectively on the PA. Like, he's third in net worth now. Even with all the farm, I'm not sure how much faith I have in this hero to actually do anything in this current meta, but you know, at the same time, like, once you have the Fan of Knives up, you have a nice break, get through the Wind Ranger, get through the Ench. Of course, we haven't talked about Stonebank very often, but although he's had a much rougher game, he's still top of the net worth board, so he's still a pretty big problem. Going for an MKB next to the Monkey King. And Roshan is going to go the way of Bait. No contest.
Nice simple take here for the side of Bait. Secondary life ready onto Stonebank. So just going to be able to commit harder into these fights. I would say though, as Bait, I mean, taking your time here is fine because I feel like the PA just takes way too long to come online. At the same time, you kind of want to just take your advantage and make it bigger, right? You don't want to be completely passive here on Bait's end. So just line up perhaps for these tier 2s, as they haven't taken any of these tier 2s yet in the game. So that's giving a little bit more forward map control out to SKG, allowing them to, again, still play this farm game. They are keeping up there. They are getting that build up slowly but surely, and time is the one resource they need on SKG. Bait have to take that resource away from the map. You know, that's what you want to do.
Top lane ping's coming out. Stominant has got some nice vision over on London 9. Thing is, they are hanging around their own vision now, so Stominant can't really run within that. And he won't. Lodine's the only one that's come over. Lund is going to show himself here on the creep wave. There's a track out, so that'll help just keep the vision up on Lund. Blast off is going to be there. Meanwhile, Funny kills off Ducho mid lane. Lund! Oh, he's gone! I realized that we may have not been watching that side because there was a fight going on mid lane, but it was a very sad series of events that happened there to our Storm Spirit.
Yeah, I can tell. It's a very unfortunate series of events. For SKG, Like, I don't know what's up with their lanes, man. Like, this PA pick, last time around, it's the Pugna last pick. Their last picks have been off the mark. And the smoke play out from bait.
Oh, Leonidas does kind of reveal his position, but they are pinging out Ducho down a bot lane. I don't know what it is about Ducho, but every team loves going after this guy. He's gonna go TP back. They have found Stominant, so SKG able to pick off a pick-off for themselves. It seems like Bait probably will just sit back for a bit, so Stonebank gonna see Lund. Misses the Boundless. Has the Aegis up, so not really afraid of too much here as the MK. Leonidas with his BKB now, looking to try and get involved in a fight. But seems like Bait just going to back their way out, wait for Stominant to be back up. No need to rush this game.
Yep. Just don't provide too many openings out to Sand King Gómez and you're in pretty good hands. And Funnick working his way onto the MKB to have a solution for that PA now as well. You know, you're really going to hit this critical mass now on the side of Bait where Sand King Gómez has to be a bit cautious. They are going for the smoke play out, wanting to use this BKB that they've farmed up on Leonidas.
Lund frontlining here. Stominant is around to try and break the smoke, but they won't run into him. Or they might find Funnick. It's a pretty nice pick off, though. He has broken the smoke, sees the storm immediately, and just backs his way out. In fact, now Beta grouping up, looking to go into that dire triangle and hold that high ground area. Get wards down immediately.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And I say they're holding the triangle, they're just going to go after the bottom tier 2 tower. They're still very confident with the minute on the Aegis that the side of SKG can't really successfully take a team fight here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's just a little bit rough right now for SKG. Like, they're dipping out, they're trying to look for these opportunities. Not able to do so. Aegis still running for only about 40 seconds with a smoke out from Bait. I'm just trying to get Stonebank to Bait. They do at least find a tier 2 for themselves, maybe into this triangle. This could be an interesting fight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Lund. Dendi, nice clay beam. Gonna find the storm immediately, and that's gonna be Lund gone. Immediate track kill handed over. Leonidas at least blurs and TPs away. 9 being chased down. Will get tracked up here by Stominant. So even through the Moonlight Shadow, there is really no escape for him. He's only got 1 leap charge left as well. Stominant will not hand the kill over to Dendi, but will take it for himself. Dendi will let him know about it as well.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah,
under attack.
I mean, he needs his support tax, of course. He's playing that
Absolutely.
bounty hunter. He wants some items up, so he will claim that tax for himself. And on the side of Bait, MKB is almost done for Stonebank. You've got Dendi working into the Hex Blink. You've got our Enchantress still already at the MKB as well. Funnick, man. Like, he will rip apart that PA. You should just go now.
He's even got the Enchanted
Dire's
Quiver.
top tower is under attack.
That's
Oh,
let
no.
me tell you, that first throw, it really hurts. Like, it really hurts. I would say half his HP at the very least will be removed from 1 hit of Impetus with that Enchanted Quiver.
Yeah,
Maybe more.
for sure. I would be surprised. It's a lot of output. We've seen Funnick's output has been consistently high. SKG still playing this farm game. Hex to come out next on Lund. It's still a ways off from that one. Like, it doesn't feel like you'll be able to find that too soon here. And I mean, Bader just in control. Probably just waiting for next Roshan at this point. Because I don't think there's too much of a rush. You want that safety net for at least the high ground.
Lund's being surrounded. Stominant's going in from the back. Nice zip away. We'll get back into the base. I mean, that's kind of the nice thing, right? You can kind of zip off the map almost to get back to the base now, so... And I guess theoretically it's not off the map, but, you know, it's unusable terrain.
Dire's top
Yeah.
tower
Tier 2 top tower is going to drop.
Simple take. You have the nullifier up and running now on Leonidas, so a little bit more output from him. Just need that angle. They've been smoking up, but bait smoke up as well.
Yeah, they do. Leonidas, if he gets stunned like once, he's probably just dead. There's so many MKBs available on bait right now. At least Nullifier is there for the PA, but he's left himself with no buyback gold for this fight. They will pop a Moonlight Shadow. Stonebank might bait for his team in the mid lane. SKG would love to see if they can blow him up, but it's not going to be that simple. They will take their sweet time with this Moonlight Shadow. Beta being very patient, just waiting in the wake, hoping somebody does show up as Leonidas is going to get tracked here. But they won't find a fight.
Not going to be able to find
he wants to
fight.
protect the wards. They want to protect that ward. Jump in, Funnick, he's going to be the target with the nullifier. Maybe they can deal with him. Fan of Knives even out. Funnick, he is going down, but now the shackle. Dendy, he landed on two. They've got Lund. They almost had Leonidas. They forced his BKB out. So 1 for 1, I'd still say in the favor of bait. I suppose you would like Funnick here, but Lund being gone is a bit of a problem for SKG.
They rely on that storm to make these plays. No one else has high mobility. Underlord can just kind of drop to the mouths, but that's not how you tend to start these fights. It has to be off the back of that storm. Bait find a big one to enable themselves to take more of the map if they want to, but doesn't look like they will poke high ground just yet. And they don't have protection of Aegis, so it's a little bit tougher. They respect what SKG can do in the high ground. So they play it safe. Full Kaya Sanj up and running now as well, though, for Lund. So going to be maybe a little bit harder to pin him down with that stat resist going up. Bait for their part. Again, just kind of happy either way. They can kind of play it for him. They know their core matchup sucks. Rewind sucks, but that's the state of the game right now for SKG.
It certainly is. It's like an Aghanim Scepter being built up here for Leonidas. I mean, why the hell not? Having that extra dispel and the refresh is always going to be quite nice in the middle of a team fight. And you are at that kind of stage as a PA where you are solely reliant on carrying this game for your team. Roshan, though, has started. Bait, they are, or rather SKG are waiting on the other side of the Roshan pit for Roshan to walk over, but it is gone. Unfortunately.
It was a lot longer till nighttime as well. Just wondering why they were kind of setting up there. Maybe expecting someone to take the gate down. Would have been a kill op, I guess, if you get that done, but no one walks through. So, miss out and they're on full retreat. And secondary life up. Oh. Just zipping around Lund to pick up runes.
Yeah.
It's a little bit awkward for SKG to put all their eggs into that PM. Granted, you have reached this point where you honestly have done a great job of Leonidas. He's never been too far behind in comparison to Stonebank. But I feel like if the Wukong flies on, Leonidas can't really handle fighting in that area.
There goes Yambura. Yambura going to die here on the Undying as bait. Looks like they're still just going to continue pushing out waves at the moment. I mean, they will eventually get to the high ground again with this Aegis up, but I think they're giving Stonebank time to have the full Skadi available on the Monkey King before they try for this. Meanwhile, bottom, maybe a fight to break out because they have found Lund and Ducho. We're going to try and go through the Fiend's Gate. Ducho's been forced back though with the Hurricane Pike, and Lund is not making it out either. You'll have to zip the old-fashioned way, but Ducho is gone. Oh. What can you do?
Yeah, I wish we could use our caster voice lines in here, Mike, because you would just press mouse 5 and then just put what can you do, and that's it.
That is about it right now for SKG. Like, they just haven't had a one-team fight in such a long time. As 9. There goes 9.
Yeah, I mean,
Not much to provide here. It's just complete domination.
no
so far.
more. It's 2 games in a row. I think we have to see Leonidas deliver. That's the one difference here. We've got to see this PA deliver the performance that it deserves. Ags is so close. You do not want to force these fights out until it's up, and there you go, flying over now.
Is under attack.
So let's see what Leonidas can do. This is the turning point for the P8. It can be a little bit sneakier, but the game is still a very, very difficult one. Even considering this position Leonidas has, just because his other cores had to sacrifice so much. Like Lund isn't even up there, and Dutra's not up there as well in where they need to be on these heroes.
I mean, PA can do miracles. I mean, it's a hero that doesn't have a very high win rate right now, but nothing a Divine Rapier can't fix later on, if you can last that long as Lund. He doesn't seem like he's going to last very long right now, John. He's gone.
You deserved it.
Strength of the Bounty Hunter, just not allowing anyone to farm jungle.
Yeah.
Bait will just continue dominating the map.
It's very oppressive for SKG. You can't even split up. You can't even have the Storm try to farm an area of the map away from everyone else. Smoke out from Bait. You can just keep rolling here.
Tormentor's going to be taken. 9 is going to die to the Tormentor. Okay. Happens. Blast off. Low dine. A little bit off the mark. Can't go through that little... I don't know what you even call that, but you know the door I'm talking about.
The
Can't
gates?
go through it. Sure, the gates. Stonebank. Boundless Strike's going to be there. They're trying to just chip away at Stonebank slowly but surely. Keeping in mind, though, minute on the Aegis is still remaining. Leonidas is going to try and jump in. Dendi is going to get bursted, and now Stonebank's gone. All right. SKG are trying to do something here. Arrow is not going to land. BKB is there in time. Leonidas in a bit of a rough position. He's going to get 4-staffed out. But SKG have proven that you can't freely push their high ground.
Yeah, you do have to take some caution going up there. We finally see a Wukong's come out from Stonebank. Was that his first one this game? It feels like the first time we've seen it.
It could be, Jonathan. I'll be honest. He's been quite passive this game.
Yeah. Hasn't had the need to really pop that spell. And I guess we're seeing that delivery coming through from Leonidas. The PA can get the burst job done. We're smoking out in SKG. If they can find more here,
Are scanning.
could potentially see the beginnings of a sign of life to build into game 3 here for SKG.
Could be. Tormentor taken. They'll give that one over to the techies. See, this fan of knives and nullifier build up from the PA is like making magic happen right against the Wind Ranger in the end. She's just
Is under attack.
that wind run no longer a problem, and neither is the untouchable. Seems like SKG, you can tell they're feeling a lot more confident now, moving across the Radiant side jungle. Bait still remaining as a team. The only person away from them is Funnick at the moment. Funnick will join in.
We've got room on SKG. They might...
Mid lane.
Are they? Oh.
Well, Leonidas is in the blur. He's feeling very confident knowing nobody can see him right now. Beta going to try again for the high ground play, it seems. Maybe just trying to catch somebody off guard. Ducho will reveal himself on the right side with the Firestorm. Stominant going to see him. Boundless Strike is out. They'll make the jump in on the Underlord, and Ducho so far has no friends around, though they are TPing into the base, and turns out the damage output of Stonebank is proving not to be enough.
Not quite. And Ducho is really tanky now. I feel like your main source of damage is really just down to Funnick. If you can get those hits in. It's really the Ench that deals with these shields really well. Like, take away the impact of that Crimson. Pure damage doesn't really care for that. Get the run in. I am keen to see when Dendi hits this Ags timing, because this does feel like the solution to PA. Like, again, 50% physical damage reduction is pretty big. I'm not sure where in the hierarchy it reduces damage first. Like if it reduces before armor reductions, it's pretty big. Like you can cop a lot from that PA, then they shouldn't have any issues there at all. And that's where things maybe start to light up for Bait, where you're not instantly losing one hero in these fights. They will go for a smoke play in Bait though.
9 will break it. Lodine's practically on his own here as the arrow's going to land. They know it's landed as well. Leonidas going to move his way in. Won't go forward though. Lodine, too scary. Big wraparound from Bait. They're coming in from the right side. SKG, I'm not sure if they're ready for this. Yambura immediately targeted. He's gone. And now they're on to Leonidas. They want that PA real damn bad. Scythe of Ice to lock him down. Leonidas is dead. He can buy back though. Ducho's being chased down as well in the meantime on the Underlord. He will also drop. It's time to try again for high ground for Bait. We'll see if SKG can successfully find a way to defend this time.
Yeah, I mean, they've got buyback on Leonidas, but it's not going to feel comfy buying back for this defense for sure, as a lot is just relying on that PA. And Leonidas is saving up for the Divine. Like, he wants to go into this all-in play, start to get that burst damage off of the team. Buyback will offset that. We'll have to see what his choice is. Stonebank is not backing off. Mid tower's already gone, so not going to take too long to get onto those racks. And it doesn't feel like these 3 heroes left will do much. Your 2 supports plus the Storm. You're just not being able to stop this. They're just going to have to sit and watch and hope that Bait maybe overstays their welcome as the respawns start to come in. But they're not. They play it safe.
Yeah, at least for now. Roshan is up, by the way, so you have got that option to just go back for that. Hackenham Scepter now coming up for Lund, so it's got the AoE Vortex now available. I dare say it's not quite as strong as it used to be, but still a pretty nice item to pick up, especially when you've got a PA who can just cleave a hell of a lot of damage out. Something that, you know, they may not be expecting on Bait. Like, if you can get a surprise Vortex off onto quite a few, it could turn into a pretty nasty ordeal for Bait. But for now, Roshan being taken, they've got an Ag's blessing of their own to take. And if you're Dendi, you might just take this yourself. And he will.
Yeah.
So now you've got that 50% reduction with the Wind Run on physical damage, which against the PA should pay off.
Yeah, it's your big answer. Just be uncontrollable in the middle there. You would want your level 25. I think that's really Dendi's big spike. When Wind Run is undispellable, then the nullifier play from Leonidas doesn't do much. That's what we have to see. And it's still a ways off till the 25 is up and running. So you still have a lot of leeway for Leonidas to find that proper targeting here. Still, with Aegis and the cheeses up, you've got this opportunity to just shove in bot. Oh, that full Divine is up. No buyback for Leonidas, though. All in and with this burst play on the PA.
I like it. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, John. I think with the way this game's gone, Leonidas says, screw it. It's Divine time. He's hitting it for about 700 damage per right click without the crit jumping in. Hit of Malice will be laid down. Stonebank. I mean, nobody's seen the Divine yet on the side of Bait, so they won't be expecting this, I don't think. Stonebank continues for the tier 3 tower, is eventually going to find it, makes the jump in onto the Underlord. Meanwhile, Vortex is there. They're going to try and Funnick. Funnick is dropping rather low, still heals up. Disarm is there as well. He's fine. He's still walking away. Leonidas is trying to find himself a target, but he's been kited around. Oh, no. He couldn't kill anyone. Divine on the deck. Funnick will take it for himself. GG is called.
Oh boy.
That really, really is unfortunate. I'm going to give props to Funnick, excuse me, not Funnick, but rather Lodine in the middle of all that, John. He actually used the Techie Shard to put the disarm onto Funnick, so there was an...